Good day. Welcome back to my channel, Mr. Interconnected. I appreciate you guys for tuning in with me today. I apologize to those who saw my initial out of the theater reaction to 28 Years Later on Thursday. I said I was going to do a full review and post it on Thursday, but stuff came up with work, so I'm just now being able to get around to this. So thanks for tuning back in, and I'm going to do my review of 28 Years Later right now. So 28 Years Later is a horror film. It's a sequel to 28 Weeks Later, which is also the sequel to 28 Days Later. It's the third film in this franchise. It's been a very long time since we've gotten one of these films. The last film, 28 Weeks Later, came out in 2007. And then prior to that, the first film came out in 2002. So I'm going to try to do my best to make this review smooth and clear. I'm still new to doing this stuff, guys, so just bear with me as I try to get through this, and hopefully I'm able to offer you guys what you're looking for as far as my review. So the film takes place 28 years after the initial outbreak, okay, of the rage virus. So the rage virus is this deadly virus that once you are infected with it, it causes you to go completely mad and try to kill any and everybody who's around you, unless you're infected as well. And the virus is pretty instant. I would say within about 5 seconds of being infected, you're already starting to turn and you're already starting to go crazy. So the virus is very, very dangerous. What they do with this film is they evolve that virus. They take the virus to a new direction that has implications on how the infected move about, how they interact with each other, and how the main characters have to now navigate this world around the infected, because the infected are a little bit different. Now, I'm not going to go into specifically what it is or what they do, because then I'll be going into spoiler territory at that point. I kind of want you to just see it for yourself. So as far as the main characters go, Aaron Taylor Johnson, I'm going to be looking at my screen here just for reference, but Aaron Taylor Johnson, he plays Jamie. He's the father of the of the boy, and the husband of Jodie Comer's character, Isla. And then Alfie Williams, he plays Spike, who's the son of Isla and Jamie. So just to be clear again, Alfie Williams plays Spike, Jodie Comer, she plays Isla, and Aaron Taylor Johnson, he plays Jamie. Okay. So really the movie is about Spike, mostly. Even though Jamie and Isla plays a significant role in the film, but the movie is really told from the point of view of Spike, because we are going with this kid on this journey of going outside of their village for the first time, because he has never been outside of the walls of this village, to kind of go see and experience the outside world for the first time and the dangers that lurk out there. Not just the infected, but other people as well. So Jamie takes his son out there, and he gets to see, here are the infected, okay? And he's giving them a sort of a lesson on how to deal with them, how to hunt them, how to kill them. And some things happen that cause them to have to retreat back to the village. And it's at that point, Alfie, he wants to go back out for a specific reason, because Isla is sick. So she's unwell. There's something going on with her, and she needs help, and she needs help pretty quickly. So Alfie gets a hint that there is someone out there who can help her. So he makes it pretty clear that nothing's going to stop him, and he sneaks his mom out, and then they have to go back out there. And then they start to, that's when the movie starts to kind of open up a bit more. You kind of start to see a little bit more of what's going on that second trip that they took out there. And you kind of get to see how the infected really navigate, how they get around, and the things that they do. And with the infected, they definitely take inspiration from The Last of Us. for sure. And you will actually see that they also took inspiration from A Quiet Place, and you will also see that it took inspiration from The Purge, just with the different things that are happening in this movie. They made some creative choices that some people may like, some people may not like. Even some editing choices that may not work for some people. I'm still a little confused as to why they made some of these editing choices. Like, I don't. This is not a spoiler, so I'll say it. There are certain scenes that are happening where tension is building, and they will like insert clips from like World War II or like previous wars to kind of match it with what's happening in the current. And I don't know why they made that decision. It didn't really add much to the film for me, but it also didn't take anything away from the film. The famous Boots poem is in the film as well, just like it was in the trailer. So expect to hear that, and yeah, just expect to see some sort of wacky stuff, especially in that third act. That third act went way left on me. I'm just gonna be honest, and that's probably what you guys will hear a lot of critics talking about, and a lot of people who've seen the film is the direction that the third act went. It went in a direction that I did not expect it to go, and it just, for some people, it just did not work. Okay, for me, I don't mind it because I know there's another film coming out, and I want to see how that plays into the next film. And if the next film is also really, really good, and I see, this is why they did the third act this way, then it'll actually make 28 years later better, in my opinion. So I'm not going to make a judgment call on that yet until the story is complete. And then I'll be able to say, okay, I understand why they made that choice, and I'll be able to make up my own mind in the end. But overall, the film was good. I enjoyed it. I wouldn't go see it again, if I'm being honest. I think I only need to see it one time, and I think I got enough out of it. If anything, I'm actually just more excited to see the next film because the story feels incomplete. You would definitely leave this film on a cliffhanger. Let's just put it out there. But I think they did it like that on purpose because they wanted to, get people more excited for what's to come in the next film. Ralph Fiennes. So Ralph Fiennes plays a survivor of this outbreak who is a little wacky, a little crazy, a little out there. Before the outbreak, he had a profession that required him to take care of people, which is the reason why Alfie took his mom out there because he wanted to see if he can get his mom some help. And so yeah, that's where a lot of the drama comes in. It's around this family. The family is the anchor of this film. Okay. And this movie kind of parks the horror for a little bit and kind of pushes the drama to the forefront. And but when the horror does come around, it's just zombies going crazy, like normal. We've seen these movies before. There's not much more they can do, in my opinion. That's that much different from any other zombie movie. People are going to get bit. People are going to get limbs ripped off. People are going to get murdered and butchered and slaughtered. Like, that's just what zombies do. Okay, so if you're coming to the film just for that reason, you may be a little bit disappointed because I promise you right now, this is not the gore fest of 28 Weeks Later. This movie definitely is more toned down like the first film, which focuses heavily on the characters. Okay, and you'll notice because Alex Garland and Danny Boyle did the first film and then they did the third film, but they didn't do the second film, at least from a directorial perspective. So just understand you're getting more in line with the first film with this current film, okay? And but as I mentioned, there was just so much time that took place in between 28 Weeks Later and 28 Years Later. You can see how different horror films and even zombie-related films inspired this film, okay? So I wouldn't necessarily call this film an original. And what I mean is like they did something so new that's never been done before. Like, no, this film has clearly been inspired by other horror films that came before it. So you will definitely be able to see The Purge. You will definitely be able to see The Last of Us, and you will definitely be able to see A Quiet Place in this movie. That doesn't mean this movie is bad. That doesn't mean this movie is lazy in the writing or lazy in the directive or directing, and it's not creative or anything like that. It just means it was inspired by these other films. And it's like they took aspects of these films and just blended it all together and then put their own spin on it. And yeah, I'm actually really ready for the third film because the trailer did make it look like this film had so much going on in it. And then you watch the film, you realize there's nowhere near as much going on in this movie as the trailer made it look out to be. And that's where those editing choices that I mentioned came in, because the way the trailer was edited, the film sort of matched the way the trailer was edited, and that's what made it look like it was about to be a bunch of stuff happening. But then, okay, you got to compare that 2-minute trailer to a 2-hour film, and just know that all those moments are spread apart pretty significantly. So that's the reason why I'm waiting for the third film, or excuse me, the next film, the sequel, 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple, which comes out in, I want to say, February of next year, 2026. I'm really hoping that that film takes it up another level as far as especially the other dangers that are out there besides the infected, because 28 years later, there should be much more going on in this world, in my opinion. If you look at films like The Purge, if you look at films like The Last of Us, if you look at films like The Road, these films where people are the bigger threat. People are just so evil because there's no rules anymore, so they can do whatever they want to do, right? So we all know the infected is going to do what they do. And as I mentioned, there was evolution with the infected, but I don't think the evolution of the infected was enough to carry this film for me, which is, I think, why they had to hit on the drama and had to hit on the family aspect of the film so much to help carry the load. But I will say with the next film, what I am expecting is a lot more different things happening as far as this group of people who are doing this sort of thing, this group of people who are doing this sort of thing, the infected, how the infected plays into all of that. I want that next film to be pretty much tension-filled, suspenseful, non-stop throughout the entire film, is what I'm expecting, based on the way this film ended. And I'm hoping that's what we get. Yeah, like I mentioned, this movie is not the gore fest of 28 weeks later. It's definitely more in line with the first film. I do think it's worth the visit to the theaters, if you guys want to go watch it, definitely go ahead and watch it, especially if you want to keep up with what's going on in the franchise. So I'm going to go ahead and grade this film on the A+ scale. I'm going to give this film a B+. And the reason why is because after 28 years of this virus coming out, and after 17 years of us waiting, I expected a bit more, and I don't think we got as much as we should have with this film, which is why I'm really banking on the next film, to deliver what this film I feel should have delivered. But I gave it a B+ because what we did get was good. So had this film delivered more for me, and pushed the story forward a little bit more, the film would have been at least an A-, an A, or hell, maybe an A+. I don't know. But right now I'm sticking with the B+. I think that's a fair rating for this film. And I hope you guys enjoy it. Take a trip to the theaters, go see it for yourself. And yeah, I'm done. That's my review. Hey, thanks for tuning in today. I really appreciate it. Like I mentioned before, I apologize for not getting this review out sooner. I hope you guys like and subscribe to my channel. I plan on doing more and more and more of these reviews. As I mentioned before in my very first video, towards the end of my very first video, I'm also going to be doing fragrance reviews. As you can see, I have my fragrances behind me. And I'm also going to be talking about other things as far as just trying to inspire people, uplift people, and things like that. So it's going to be an inspirational channel. It's going to be a movie review channel, and it's going to be a fragrance review channel. And who knows what else God has in plan, or has in mind, excuse me, as far as his plans for me. I may end up expanding this channel even further once I get some traction and get some movement going. But like I said, I hope you guys like my review. Give me some feedback in the comments. You know, if there's some things I can improve on, whether it's lighting, sound, my voice being more clear, or me having a bit more of an outline of what I want to talk about, things like that. You know, I'm all ears and I'm all open for feedback from you guys. So I appreciate you guys tuning in today. Thank you very much. God bless you guys out there. Take care of yourselves and go see this film.